Then he had Night Terrors in there, which sounds kind of strange, but it was a DC wide event, and of which I did not collect. And so he had to stop his run and then started it back up. So 6 isn't really the full story. I think he had 2, and then we started back up a couple months ago. So he's probably had 4 out of 6 of actual story. So there we go. So it's Hal now has a ring that can do multiple colors. And each one of the colors, if you haven't read anything by Jeff Johns, which was really good, he recreated the whole Green Lantern lore, where we had spectrums. We had because there was already the Star Sapphires, there was already Fear, which was yellow, and he decided that he was going to make more colors, more. So there was blue and there was red and indigo and all this stuff. So each one of them was almost like a different tribe. So we had that. Now he somehow created his own ring that doesn't need to power itself. Usually you had a power battery with it, and you stuck your hand into the power battery and you said the Green Lantern Corps saying, motto, in Darkest Night and Brightest Day and Darkest Night thing. And that's how you would power up your ring. So, assuming that he created his ring by willpower, it doesn't have a battery with it, which is odd right off the bat. But now it has different spectrums on its own, which is also strange. So he's wielding a multi-emotional ring that probably needs its own psychiatrist. So he gets a visit from his buddy from Korugar, which is Sinestro. And Sinestro says, "Give me your ring," which I wasn't sure that's how it actually worked, because usually the ring finds you, right? So there was plenty of times where Hal got his ring off a crashed ship, right? But still, I think it chose him. It's like, because he was right there, it scanned him basically and said, Hal Jordan, you have great willpower. You are welcome to the Green Lantern Corps. And that's how it normally worked. But I guess everything's changed now, and I kind of like the old stuff. But so here he asks him for his ring, and he says, "Fine, here, take it." And he tries to use it, and he can't, because Hal created the ring, so it can't work for anyone else. And again, how he created the ring from willpower, I will never know. I don't understand that. But anyway, that's how it is. So he gets pissed off, and he decides that he's going to make everyone in the world afraid. So he reworks something with Ferris Air with their drone fighters, and has their fighters gonna be start attacking things, and of course Hal wards it off. And by him thwarting that, I guess he enraged. And again, how would this work if you could just create rings? But I guess he has his own ring that it just was out of power or whatever. So he had a yellow ring, Sinestro, but it just was out of juice or whatever. So by doing that, he enraged Sinestro, and therefore it was charged with red energy. And now he's got a red ring. I don't think that's how it works. Usually a red ring will then find you if it's running around, if its owner had died, and the red ring would find you, which is, I would have liked that better, that it, red ring just came down to him and said, "Sinestro of Korugar, you are a person of great rage. Welcome to the Rage Corps," or whatever the hell it is. So I would have liked that better, but this is what we got. So we're going to start out with Green Lantern, with Hal Jordan fighting Sinestro with one, and you got a really nice splash page there, or a double splash page. of the two of them fighting, one with rage and one with willpower, which is green. Of course, I also miss, Atrocitus was the leader of the Reds. So, but we basically the whole book is one big fight scene. So there's not a whole lot of story here. They're just making constructs and throwing them at one another. That's what this is all about. So I wish we had a little bit more in the way of story, but I guess it's taken a while to get to this point. And then I guess Ferrizaire throws some more fighters at him, and Hal's like, no, don't interfere. So of course he destroys the fighters, and again we got another big double splash page there. And then Hal has to save them. So, he turns himself into an arrowhead and says, Ollie would love this. Stuff like that. So, blah, blah, blah. They also then turn themselves into big mechs. So we have Voltron, I guess, or Power Rangers or whatever. And they're fighting each other as these big, huge constructs. So, I did like this, where they're actually inside, but they're literally bumping chests against one another inside the construct. I thought that was kind of cool. And he goes back home, where he sees Kilowog. We've had Kilowog show up a few times, but then Kilowog is a construct, but he was like flesh and blood construct. How does that even work? I'm very confused about all these powers. How he can make a construct look human, or look not human, but look like a living, breathing thing. And then we got the backstory of Sinestro's son, which made absolutely zero sense. I mean, literally, he was chasing a car in this direction and ended up in a car in the other direction, simultaneously. But anyway, he's basically stealing things. He was trying to create a rocket ship to go to Corrigar, or at least to find Sinestro, and the guy shoots it down. I guess he's supposed to be like a thief, and he's got like an overlord, he's like a street urchin, and his handler or whatever else shoots it down. But I really wish they would stop doing backup stories so that they could charge you more money. It's just a waste. They make an extra $1, but I hate the fact that there's a backup story that I didn't ask for. I wish they'd stop it. But anyway, so would it make a good film or television show? I would need a lot of explaining to why they changed the idea of how the rings work, because the rings are supposed to work in a certain way, and this kind of alters it. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to reserve on that about a movie or a television show until I see where the story goes, because right now I love Sinestro being the villain. He should have been a villain in the regular movie with Ryan Reynolds. And that may have saved, that film. Because that film was obviously not good with a nebulous villain. All right, so let's move on to Star Wars Bounty Hunters. And I have sad news. There's sad news for this one, because the next issue is the last one. So I was originally, I was collecting Star Wars, I was collecting Darth Vader, and I was collecting Dr. Aphra, and I was collecting this. So I was collecting 4 Star Wars books. And they started continually going downhill. The writing got continually worse. Dr. Aphra got complete crap. Darth Vader ended up having he couldn't control the Force anymore. The Force was overloading, and he got these artifacts. He wasn't wielding a lightsaber anymore. It was weird. And in Star Wars, they tried to create more and more stories within the period of time between Empire and Jedi, not giving a shit about what's going on with Han. And that didn't work. They gave him a yellow lightsaber, like an interim lightsaber between his blue and his green one. Why? And then they started going into these a universe within universe type of thing where they were in the middle of a void. It got so out there. Then they jacked the price up, and I was like, I'm done. All the bad writing, I am out of it. So instead of them making $1 more on me for 4 books, I trashed 3 of them. So they made less money off me than if they just remained the same price. If it was the same price, I probably would have, but I, kept going. But because they raised the price, I rebelled, and I just killed them all. And now this one, the one I am still collecting, is now ending. So I went from 4 to 0. And why Alyssa Wong is still on Dr. Aphra, I will never know. I will never know. I mean, she has dug a hole for that thing to the center of the earth and chucked it in there with dynamite attached. She's destroyed that book. It had a lot of... there were people walking around in cosplay with Dr. Aphra. It had so much potential. And she just destroyed it. I don't think anybody's reading that book anymore. So let's get on with Bounty Hunter. And Valance, I finally got some of my old comic books back, and I still have it's kind of beat up. But I have like one of the original from the 80s, one of the original appearances of Valance. So he was where he was fighting Vader. But the artwork in here is pretty good. So this is like Valance's girlfriend or whatever. He was married at one time, but I guess his wife died. And then he went back to the Empire, and this one-eyed chick, and he kind of hit it off. It was kind of weird. Thankfully, now she has a patch on and doesn't have that weird eye thing glued to her face. I think at least this looks a little bit more normal. But anyway, so we had this whole Dark George thing is stupid. It's really the Dark George thing is bad. It's gone on for too long, and thankfully this one it wasn't as affected as the rest of the other books. Mostly because it was just Valance that was really affected by it. So he started losing his memory. His memory was corrupted because part of him is cyborg. So it was starting to get corrupted, so he started to lose his memory of his wife and everything like that in his former life. And I guess they had backed up, the Empire had backed up his memory. So she stole the thumb drive or whatever, which is weird that it's a thumb drive, but that's what it is. So meanwhile, Losha, which is Tonga's the leader of the bounty hunters, and Bosk led a little mutiny and marooned her and Zuckus on the planet by themselves with the bad droids and everything like that, and they got captured, and Valance now is corrupted completely by the Dark Droid, so he's being controlled. He's not even in control of his own body at this point. But anyway, Losha is with the... she had this big animal or whatever else, like from episode 2, with the big jaws that was in the arena. So she had that as a pet, and this other woman killed it. And now the woman's back, and she was going to kill her. Instead, she teams up with her, and they're going to go save Tonga. Now, how they know where she is, I have no idea. It's not like she has a LoJack on her or whatever, or GPS. I don't know if she's on a tracker or anything like that. But, yeah, so that's what she's going to do, and she ends up running into, this is all coincidence. So she runs into the woman that was the ex or the semi, whatever the girl cares for, I don't know what you would call her, good friend of Valance that has the thumb drive. She hands it to Losha, and Losha's now going to go to Tonga. Now, how they all meet up like that, it's a mystery. It's very coincidental. So anyway, she finds the thing, and she's hanging out with the girl who's saying, "Oh, we're friends, we're partners," and she's like, "No, we're not friends, no, we're not partners." She's like, "We're almost friends who will be partners," and so that she kind of runs that joke through the whole thing, like that she kind of rewords Every time somebody says no, she rewords it, so it could be possible in the future. But anyway, so so the bad droid thing that's now in control of Valence's body has them all up on this thing, and he's basically gonna kill them or try to turn them all into cyborgs, I guess, and then try to control them. So I think that's the plan, and so it's not looking real good for Tonga right there. She's got that, yeah, like that. But luckily, she's a thief, and she got a little paper clip or whatever that she took out of his pocket. Okay, we're in Star Wars land, and we're got a paper clip. It's a little weird. But anyway, she's able to get out of her thing, and she grabs the buzzy thing, the buzzsaw at the last minute, and hits him in the head with it. Of course, he hits him in the head of the cyborg side, so she doesn't do as much damage. And then we got a little bit of a fight scene happen here, and she gets a gun, and she's gonna wipe him out because he got Zuckuss gets bitch slapped. No, don't bitch slap me. He tries to hit them with the thing, but then the bottom there, he's like, yeah, just stop hitting me with stuff. And Tonga decides to try to shoot him, but she can't do it. She's like, I'm going to kill you. No, I'm not. I'm not going to kill you. I want to kill you, but I don't want to kill you. It's really a big dichotomy here. Somebody make a decision for me. So anyway, we finish it up, and then we have these cats show up. I want to call them loft cats, but they're not. They're something else. And then the the droid's like, I can't really play you with your balls right now. Oh my god, the balls are detonators. No! And then they all run away because we can't kill off any of the cats. So they all run away just in time as everything explodes. And then, again, Hal Losha knows exactly where they are. I have no idea. But anyway, she hits them with this pole. It looks like a pole, but then it's not really a pole. It's a thing on a cable. Doesn't look that way from that picture. I think the artist kind of messed that up. Yep, and there she is through the broken wall with the other girl, and they're like, oh my god, my wife is here. Thank you, wifey. I know we're in a big battle, but let's touch heads. Yeah, a little bit over the top. But I mean, that works pretty good. And so she sticks the thumb drive in his head. Over here, and he's like, ah! That's exactly how he's like. But then he gets his memories back, but his memories don't go all the way to the latest thing. It's an older drive. So his thing with the one-eyed girl, he doesn't remember. His little fling with her. So they go and they release some of the people. They're like, we better have a bigger ship to get out of here because we got a lot of people now. And Valance is up there going, no, look at my hands. So this is where it gets kind of weird. So Valance tells them all to get out of there, and he just hand blasts them all. I mean, he just goes nuts and hand blasts everything. And meanwhile, this dark droid thing infiltrated the whole galaxy. All right, so he gets hugged by everybody saying, I hope I didn't. Yeah, it's got to be a little bit further this way. He gets hugged by everybody. I want to make sure I didn't get covered by the other thing that's over there. And then we have the bad guy, the female bad guy, is like, yeah, we're a team now. And they're like, we're not a team. And they're like, well, we can be a team. But then he announces that the whole dark droid thing's over. That it's killed and it's wiped out. But if it was like a hive mind all across the galaxy, why is it suddenly gone? I missed something. On that, but it got all of a sudden he just hand blasts it and everything's... He saved the universe? I was confused by that. Then we get a shot of Han in Carbonite, and I guess he's going to go try to save... Well, I guess they kind of messing everything up with the regular Star Wars title, so why not? They'll just go help Luke, I guess, now? I don't know. But, where was it? Yeah. So that same scene, look what it says there. The series finale. So it's over. It's over. So just like in my other reviews of this book, obviously I only have one more review of this book, and that's all. It's gone. But it's amazing that this one, of all of them, this is the one. I mean, Darth Vader and Star Wars in the regular title I can see, but this one, as opposed to Dr. Aphra, they don't cancel Dr. Aphra. I don't understand that one. Maybe because she's gay. I don't understand why you cancel that one over this one. I'm sure that they're both in the tank. But will it make a good film or television show? The idea, not this particular story, but the idea of having this group of bounty hunters, kind of a la, The Mandalorian, except having a group that always bickers and kind of backstabs each other and stuff like that, yeah, I think that would be fun. So, and I would love to see Valance in real life, in like a live action. Just don't let Filoni write it. And then we'll move on to 007 for a King and Country. I think I missed the last issue during the move because they don't buy this. My shop doesn't buy this normally. So, in this one, there was I guess there are soldiers that have kind of chips or whatever else in their head or whatever else that they're creating, and it gives them a hive mind where they're all interconnected. And James Bond was given 3 drives. We don't know it's 3 drives, but he's given drives, and they're redundant in case they get destroyed or somebody takes them, to corrupt the drive of this hive mind creating thing. So he's with a girl throughout this entire thing, and everybody keeps warning him that the girl's bad, she's a former 00, I think, and I think she actually helped train him at one time. So we start out with them fighting one another. So, and it's going back and forth. Of course, James is kind of ruling that fight. But we get some good fight scenes in there. The artwork isn't as good as what was in Bounty Hunter a second ago, but it's a little bit more basic. But we get some good dynamic stuff in there. And I guess she's got a piece of glass from what she went through, and she tries to stab him, and instead he stabs her with it. And he's on the phone with, it's not really Q, but it's somebody like that. And it was somebody that gave him the drives. So he runs into another room, and he gets shot because she's like, yeah, you may have won this fight, but I got friends here and you don't. So they start shooting at him, and they catch him in the arm as he runs in to see the other 00 that's on the ground, and the 00 tells him about the hive mind thing, and that he's got to stop it. And the other 00 dies. And then all the other soldiers come in, and she's like, just give it up. We got your 2 drives, blah, blah, blah. And, she's basically taunting him, and now they've got him captured. And meanwhile, he knows in the back of his head that he's already taken care of it with the 3rd drive that she didn't know about. So the whole base kind of goes on lockdown there, and there's a fire that starts, and all this stuff. And she's pissed off now because all the guys, the hive mind thing is destroyed, so that's what you see, the Barack thing there. That's what they're kind of getting electrocuted, so he kind of takes them out. And she takes up a gun and aims it at him. Same kind of thing that just happened with Valance. So she takes up the gun to aim it at him, and she drops the gun. She can't shoot him. He gets lucky, and the whole thing is on fire, and a helicopter comes and picks him up as he runs out of there. Mission accomplished, and then he's sitting with the new M, and he's like, where's the hive mind thing? And he's like, I don't know. It would be a shame if somebody destroyed it. And he's like, yeah, it's a shame, but nobody should have that thing. So it's kind of like the Mission Impossible thing with the entity. Nobody should be having that kind of power. And I guess Moneypenny is black, which I guess she was in the new one as opposed to the older one. So M is black, and so is Moneypenny. Moneypenny in the Daniel Craig one, I think didn't she have a scene where she did some action in the field? I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, he remembers his time with her, and that's how it ends. So I like the idea of that whole hive mind with soldiers thing, and him being kind of persona non grata with the double O's, and then on top of that, he's with somebody that turns on him. I like all that. There's some really good story beats in here, really good. It was a good car chase in here. Again, I missed the last issue, but for 1 through 4 and 6, because I was missing 5, I liked it a lot. I think it's by Philip Kennedy Johnson, I think. And I think he's writing some Superman stuff. I think he's doing action. But I'm waiting for the next one now, too, because the new one that's coming out is by, oh, God, what is his name? I think it's Garth Ennis. I think there's a thing for it here. Ooh, I hope, now that I said so. Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, and then we're getting a Tigra. Just one shot from Fire and Ice. And there's, Garth Ennis. That was right. So that's a new one coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got to make sure I put it on my pull list. But that's it for me. So let's do a recap. So 007 for King and Country. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it would be good. Bounty Hunter, sorry to see that one end. Still have no idea how that whole thing ended. It was very weird that it was very abrupt. And I like the idea behind it, not particularly the story, but the thing behind it would make a great series, I think. And then Green Lantern. I like the fighting with Sinestro, but I really wish that we had gone back to the same power set for the rings, and instead of it all being kind of willy-nilly to whatever the plot needs it to be. So, again, I would love to see a movie with Hal Jordan and Sinestro, and I'm going to reserve my judgment on that until we see really where the plot goes, because even after 6 issues, I have no idea. All right? Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. There's going to be additional videos that are going to pop up over here. And remember, too, that we're going to have late pledge for Lords of L.A. I almost got the name of my own title for Lords of L.A. And I am working on a card game right now with Mark Spears, who does covers for Spawn. We're doing a classic monster card game, and I'll tell you more about that as we get more. And I'm going to just put a little picture up of one of the cards. Kind of looks like we're still doing graphic design on it, so it's very new. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and you guys have a great holiday. And I will see you on the next one, which is probably going to be tomorrow, because I have like 3 more books that I think I have ready to talk about. All right, talk to you later. All right, bye.